Joshua 9:14-15 says, "So the men of Israel took some of their provisions and did not ask for the counsel of the Lord. And Joshua made a peace with them and made a covenant with them and let them live and let the leaders of the congregation swear an oath to them." Well, if you're joining us in reading through this 90-day reading plan, today's reading is Joshua 7:16-19 through 9:27, and I encourage you to read that passage. Well, it's easy to be fooled as a believer. Believers tend to have a nature that trusts people. We want to see the best in people, and even if we know in our hearts that the people may be manipulating us, we still want to help those who we possibly can. Unfortunately, there are those who don't just want help, they want to deceive and cause harm to us. Joshua had been told that he should not make any treaties with the people of the land, and that if he made a treaty with the people of the land, it would create problems in the long run. I had a friend once tell me that no good deed goes unpunished. Had Joshua just checked with God, he would have discovered that he was being deceived. But this brings us to a point that we as believers must be very firm in. If we give our word, then our word has to stand. There is not an option for us to take it back. I recently experienced something like this. The situation was known to me about a young family who was in need. Their apartment rent was due and they didn't have any means to pay it. They also had a severely disabled child. I said that I thought that we might be able to help them. Unfortunately, I said prior to my meeting with this person and finding out the rest of the story. To make a long story short, she had only told me part of her story. She left out some significant details and made some claims that turned out to be false. But I agreed to find the money to help this family, and God provided that money. However, when she and her husband failed to follow through on what their commitment was for the next month, I felt no obligation to search for funds for the family. I provided some food for them, however. But through their deception and failure to follow through on their commitment, it caused me to decline the request for rent money. The Gibeonites' deception saved their lives, but they were not trusted again, and they became servants, not partners.